for me, don't call my name. Oh. Carry on, carry on.
Good morning, Susan. Good morning, Olubukola Femi Ajala. How are you this beautiful morning?
Good morning, Nima. Good morning, Fumi. Good morning, Mambuki.
Good morning, Susan.
I'm doing great. It's drizzling here in Abuja this morning, and I'm supposed to be out of my house. But hey, I love this weather. But good morning, Herlens family. Thank God it's Wednesday. That means we're almost at the weekend.
Yeah.
Yes.
We meet again, Buki. How are you this morning?
Yeah, so good morning once again. Yeah. And Susan, we never jammed this morning, but we did jam now. Susan, I love your smile. And to our Lens family, yes, to our Lens family, good morning, everybody. It's a beautiful Wednesday, and we just want to thank God. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not hand holding you again, Nima. You have been here for like 2 weeks. No, I'm not hand holding you. Me when I joined, it was baptism of fire. No, never.
Okay.
It was baptism of fire that I collected. Wait.
No, but I trust Nima. She's more than able.
I believe so.
Nima, fire on. We did here
for you. Show me what you got, you mama.
By your
fire on.
Okay, so by Sorosoke Gossip on Instagram, where a Proco doctor said my wife didn't look like anything like the spec I created in my head. Mm-hmm. It was what she was saying, her thoughts, and most importantly, her heart for people. He says she's peace for him. And in the video, he was saying, oh, no insult intended. He was just saying that he had a particular image in his head of who he would like to marry, who he would want to be with, or like she's an open book, and yeah, you can read her from miles, and it's her heart that matter. When I first saw this thing, I was like, oh, wait, first. Let me understand. What do you mean you are saying on social media in an interview that she's not your spec? After all, you married this woman. Like, so surprising. Well, my view, you don't need to come out to say, oh, she's not your spec, but it was her heart, because you are married already. What kind of narrative is he trying to push out? And there were mixed reactions. Some people were like, they didn't expect such from a Proco doctor. Some people were like, oh, they were wondering if people listened to the video till the end. Some people said, oh, obviously this will hurt the wife, but at the interview, the woman was all smiley. She wasn't showing any sort of pain or confusion or anger. So I'll start with you, Susan, because I've not met you this morning.
Before you go ahead, I read something. This movie producer, Jadi Oshibaru, had said something. He said, I know a number of people who didn't marry their spec, but are in the healthiest marriages that I know. Their spec was typically whatever was culturally deemed to be at the apex of attractiveness pyramid when we're growing up. For the guys in our generation, it was the music video vixens from the late 90s to the early 2000s, hip and R&B music videos, basically all those Coca-Cola bottle or Imbo behavior and things like that, right? But then she said the foolishness is communicating it as though their partner somehow didn't measure up to their spec, instead of simply admitting that the idea of their spec did not make sense all along. She said communicating publicly or even privately to your partner that they weren't your spec to begin with may seem harmless. After all, you're being honest, but subconsciously it's an ego trip where you settled for that person, right? And it's always something that they'll carry on their shoulder, because you think that, oh my gosh, I'm not enough. My husband did not choose me. I wasn't really the person he wanted. Do you get from the beginning? She said, it's that to say that, she said, if the point is to say that your spec changed, then talk about the fact that you even have a spec in the beginning. Because I've never heard anyone in these situations talk about character attributes being their spec. It's always superficial stuff. How tall, how short, how wide, how slim, or they speak about how meeting your partner opened your eyes to see what true beauty is. I think the issue is when a Proco doctor was speaking, he started by saying, oh, I don't want Instablock to drag me, then goes ahead to drag his wife, right?
Yeah.
And then goes ahead to even say things that I don't think you should say it out in the public. And then you
Exactly.
say, oh, it was really about her beauty, her inner beauty, her peace, as
Mhm.
if you're using that to compensate for
To
the fact that
appease her.
to appease her. Oh, it's not that you're fine, but your beauty, your inner beauty is fine. What? But
Baby.
yeah, Susan, Nima was coming to you anyway. I just wanted to chip that in.
Yes. Susan, what are your thoughts on this? Spec or no spec?
You see, for me, I listened to it, and I was reflecting a whole lot because just yesterday on my status, I put on my status in my dialect, that nobody is ugly, it's just money that insults a
Eh,
person. Now, I
I
want
think
to
you
say
can,
that
Susan.
good that now when I can afford the things I want to use on my skin. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can now. Carry on.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I
yeah,
can hear you.
Okay, thank you. So
yes.
and all of those. Okay, thank you. So you see, the truth is, my church mind for me, because I'm typically a Glasgow person, telling me that a Proco doctor was only trying to say, okay, this was not what I envisioned, but even
Yeah.
within this package, I have all I need. But as someone who understands what emotional intelligence is in the 21st century, and the fact that he even wanted to be dragged, if not, I mean, why was he calling Instablog and all of those? He already trend. So trend very well. You now go out, and the lady, in order to also give him soft landing, now said, I was a tomboy. Auntie, Egbenu Dakembenye. Whether you were a tomboy, you were a tom girl, you were whatever, you are still the same lady. Growth has happened. Now you are making money, your husband is making money, you can afford to do a whole lot of things, and so you will get more beautiful. So me, I'm just imagining myself. That person will now tell me, I didn't envision to marry someone on the wheelchair, but brought him from the church angle first. But a Proco doctor could have not centered his conversation around that spec issue. He could have woman, even though that was not what he envisioned from inception, and it should have just been by the end something you just add up, just telling people and encouraging people that sometimes it's beyond the looks, it's beyond maybe the things you have programmed because of her own spec. That was her own spec. Especially in the 21st century, would be said. It could be a Proco doctor pushing that this was not what I had as a young person, in my head of who my wife should look like. But did he pass that communication effectively in that light? I don't think it's 100%.
Yeah.
Student sense and now drop it down to even though it wasn't what I envisioned, but this was what I had. my vision. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Susan, for your submission. So over to you, Pookie. Do you think Aproko doctor was right in him saying she was not a spec, but just her inner beauty, beg your pardon, was what attracted him? And the woman saying, oh, she's a tomboy or she was a tomboy. Was that enough justification? Do you think she was just trying to pad her husband so people won't attack him on social media?
Okay, I want to go another route.
Okay.
These people are media personality. Um, they talk
Mm-hmm.
on the social street. I want to believe that they have had these conversations in their private homes several times. I
Mm.
want to believe that. We have often said everything you see on social media, don't just eat it, hook, line, and sinker like that.
True.
Yes,
They
true.
must have thrown banter at each other beyond in the house. And so it was very comfortable for them to say it. We are looking at it that should this come from, people like that? We are looking at it from our own lenses. I
Okay.
totally agree that such a thing should not have come out. Because if you are dealing with somebody who has emotional issues, Inyela son can break the marriage that day.
Yes.
He should have been sensitive, to carve it in a way. You understand? Possibly
Yes.
package it that, in fact, in our house, we have bantered ourselves that I mean, you are not my spec, to let people know that they had discussed this, they had trashed it, they had joked about it, and they are comfortable with it, even if they want to come outside.
Mhm.
However, I I believe that this issue of spec means different things to different people.
How?
I still believe that that lady was his spec
Okay.
unconsciously.
Mm.
As a man, I'm approaching a lady. Something attracted me to you.
True.
We could talk about it that okay, they're the conscious one, the subconscious one. Maybe the conscious one is you even made a mistake. I wanted somebody to tell very tall. That is the conscious mind and the subconscious talking. And then
Mhm.
immediately said, thank God she's even tall. Right. However, he now said that on their first date, that was when he mentioned that it was not the lady that I thought in my mind.
Mhm.
That on the first day, right, that it was not my spec. On the first day, I had that. And that was when the lady mentioned that I'm a tomboy. So probably on the first day, the lady just went in her jeans and things like that. I mean,
Mhm.
you know,
Mm-hmm.
that's it. Probably he was feeling that on our first date, oh God, or two jeans now. You understand? Or more than two jeans. So for him, he was looking at this, but something attracted you. Imagine now.
Yes.
True. I
But
agree with you.
Would
yes.
you would you would you go for something that does not attract you as a man?
Very true.
A
True. True. True.
woman can do that. I mean, for money, we've seen that. So don't let's beat about the bush of that. That
Mhm.
I don't really like him, but that money is the one that is attracting me. You understand? But for a man is glued to what he sees. Something must have attracted you. It could be, it could be attraction, it could be beauty, it could be height, it could be tribe, it could be social status, it could be religion. Do you know that I got someone who says he could not go ahead with that marriage because he now later found out that the person is from another Christian denomination. I say, what kilo shele Dubai? You understand? But it could be fashion sense. There are many, many things that will have attracted you. So somewhere, I want to believe that in your subconscious, that was your spec, right? It's just that the way we have gone about this spec thing, it has been overrated. That, oh, your spec. When did this issue of spec started coming into our lexicon? Of recent now. Before, there was nothing like spec. You
No, there was
understand?
a book here.
Okay,
There's
what was
always
the
been
name?
spec.
Always
And
respect. Oh,
what was, I'm talking about the vocabulary.
oh, the vocabulary. Yes.
You
Yes.
understand? I'm talking
Mm.
about the vocabulary. You know, I can't remember what the vocabulary is, but it was like, oh, I like that lady. I want to marry her. Something was attracting you. But we now began to coin that thing that is attracting, that we are talking about attraction, as spec. But that is not my own. You know me, I always like to do way forward. Spec or no spec, something attracted you, right? And for me, anybody going into marriage now, call it spec, call it no spec, whatever it is, something is attracting you. It could be character, which is very, very key. It could be how the person manages conflict management. You know, he said something, and for me, I love to dwell with that. And I hope people will be able to see the content and not the package. He has delivered the package with, oh, it was not my spec, but look at the content. And I think those were the things that were his spec unconsciously that he did not know. He talked about intelligence. He talked about thoughts. He talked about the heart. He talked about peace, that everybody wanted a slice of him. But she was ready to give more. She was not looking out for this. That is spec now, but it's just that it is unconscious. Oh, one bay. Probably from his background, what he has listened over time, what he has imbibed over time, what he has thought of over time. So when you see what you want, you are quickly glued. If not, why did he ask him for a date? Ask Aproko, was it the only lady that he saw? Why was it that this one was the one that he said, okay, come for a date? There was an attraction somewhere. And for
Yeah.
me, I want to stay. That's why I said I'm going to go on a different trajectory. It could be communication. It could be shared values. You understand? And then, of course, when we talk about this, and I'll use that to wrap up, you know, there are some things that you say non-negotiables in marriage. He was able to get that non-negotiables because that was what he mentioned. Would Aproko married a dollar?
Mm.
I'm sure he would not.
Mm.
So being a dollar was not his spec. I'm sure there were people he met that when he conversed with them intelligently, they know they. He didn't invite them out. You understand? But this was somebody he had looked forward to say that I'm going to marry you. And that was why they kept on going. Despite the fact that, okay, he was a tomboy. And then, of course, it talked about the yash. But as a doctor, he knows that, okay, we can work around this yash. And possibly he has looked, you understand? And he has looked at people and truly, married women somehow, we put on weight. So he will have said, you know what, Ele, we'll work on that one. Ele, I put on weight, you know, so it was intentional. And that is why I want us to focus on those things, because the people listening, I don't want them to just run away with the package, you
Mm-hmm.
know. But let's listen to what he was saying. And then, of course, when you talk about non-negotiables, right? And then you now talk about preferences. So this was where that preference came, you
Mm.
know, the preference of, okay, Shukotolele man what jeans, akoma t-shirt at jeans, even when you are coming for a dinner, opposite t-shirt at jeans. Well, preference, okay, I can work around this. But the non-negotiables, he didn't work about it. He didn't go to marry somebody who was taking part of him. He did not marry somebody who was not intelligent, like I mentioned. He did not marry somebody that was not thoughtful. And then, you know, he talked about the fact that he had peace around. Those were his spec, but he was just unconscious. You know, when you talk of unconscious, it's just there like the volcano. Like the volcano. It is the 10% you see, but the 90% is down. And that is where some people miss it. They look at the externals, the beauty. God forbid, somebody that is fair, you know, beautiful. What if there was a fire incident and the person is no longer fine anymore? There are fire scars and things like that. You understand? Or there's an accident, something happened, and blah 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 and blah blah blah. You understand? We have known some people that by that time, what's the law? They run away. You understand that? No, this is not what I negotiated for. That is their spec now. You understand? So, I think I've been able to add my own perception to this. That's my own perspective, and I want people to really deal with that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Buki, for that. Olufumi J, I'm coming to you, but before that, the phone lines are now open. You can call us on 07000 917 917 or 0800 123 5917. You can send us a text message or a WhatsApp message on 08155 917 917 or 0731 756537. Olufumi J.
I mean, the ladies have spoken. I think we should just go to the next one. I refuse to talk about spec or no spec because for me, I think really for me is that whenever somebody has jokingly said that when people are in front of the microphone, there's something in the microphones that makes them just jabble and say rubbish. So I like Buki has said, all of us, we have things that we look out for in partner we want to get married to. Even a job, like a job description is sort of like a spec, or what's that job offering? So we all have specs, right? It's just a case of why are you coming out to say that? Would I come out? I know what it was that I was looking for when I was younger. I mean, every young girl wanted tall, dark, and handsome. My husband is not dark. My husband is very light. Well, Lagos son has showed him shege. He's light skinned. He's naturally light skinned. Right. Now say
you will now come and say that was your spec. You understand?
I wouldn't say that.
Something attracted you that
yes,
this man they pull me. It'd be like say me too. I am attaching myself to this pool.
Yes, and that's what I'm saying. You won't find me say maybe amongst my friends when we're teasing each other. Me, I know that my husband, he saw something in me is why and I know that, like, he told me like this is what I saw, and I was like, oh, I want this babe, right? And that was for him. In terms of whether that was his spec originally, I don't know. It's a case of it is possible that you think you like something based off of maybe influences from friends, from family, from society, from the movies you watch, from the books you read, and then you find someone and you're like, oh my gosh, what was I thinking? I actually don't like that thing. Like a lot of us like things that we don't know that we like, that we don't know that we didn't like them originally. So my own is let's just stop shaming our spouses online.
Okay. See, for me, I know this will get you. You are always vocal about things like this next topic we are moving to. Actor Bob Manuel says life is naturally easier for women than men. He has said conversation after claiming that life is naturally easier. He said that women and men don't experience life on the same page, on the same level, insisting that society places different expectations on both genders. He said again, naturally, we are not the same. For me, what is your view on this? I know you are all for gender equality. Your second name should be gender equality.
I agree. I think he answered. I think he's contradicted himself in his submission because he says life is naturally easy for men and women. Then he goes on to say that women and men do not experience life the same way, and I think that's where it is. We all do not experience life in the same way. So it's, I'm very, very fascinated by the conversations that happen between men and women. If you say, oh, women can go, the men get up angry. If you say men can go, the women get up angry. We have to, as much as I am very, very big on gender equity, one thing I do not delude myself about is that we were not created in this, like we're not created in the same way, and we will never experience life in the same way. What we can do, however, is be is extend grace to each other and try to understand each other's experiences or empathize with each other's experiences. We do not give each other enough grace for the kind of experiences that life has given us. That's what it is. So on that note, we will never experience, even children from the same parents don't experience the same thing. They don't experience the parents the same way. How much more this? I think that we have to go back to the beginning. Why are men always fighting as far? Oh no, I'm the one that is going through worse. Oh no, you're not the one that's going through worse. What exactly is making us get up in arms about it? That's what. That's where
like
we can't. Yeah, it's like a pity party. Yeah, like I have it
showing themselves pity parties. Woe betide me.
Yeah, it's like the same thing of it's the same thing of how to explain this. Oh, women have 1 million Women's Day in the month. Men, and I'm like, we actually don't. Women only have 2 Women's Day, and that was not. They say they add International Women's Day. What women have? International Women's Day, women, and then Mothering Sunday. Those 2 happen in March. The next time you're hearing about Women's Matter is in May, the American Women's Day. Men have International Day of the Boy Child the same way we have International Day of the Girl Child. Men have International Men's Day. I think that is in November, the same way we have International Women's Day, which is in March. Men have only one Father's Day. So there's no basis for comparison, to be honest. It's not like we planned it, right? It's just that if the American, maybe it's the world we should be asking, why didn't they do London, the European Father's Day and the American Father's Day? There's no basis for those comparisons. That's what I'm saying, because we're not experiencing life. Let the lady speak.
Okay, Susan, what do you have to say about this?
For me, if not for the rain in this Abuja, the way I will jump up and hug you. See, let me tell you, I read Bob Marley. Just collect your hug like that. You see, I need to be seeing you, but the rain here, everywhere is dark. Let me tell you the truth. But Bob Marley reeks, and with no disrespect, because I mean, he's an elder person and all of that. But he reeks of patriarchy. You can't be speaking from the 2 sides of your mouth. Nobody experiences life same way. Even as we are women, the 4 of us on this call do not experience life the same way.
At all.
There are different intersections. It might be religious, it might be disability, it might be cultural, different things affect us differently. And for him to be saying that in this era, where women are walking around the clock, where women are even breadwinners, are you kidding me? His conversation is tilting towards pretty privilege, and that does not even exist. Yes, for someone like me who is carrying my burden on my shoulder, are you kidding me? Who they help me run am if not be God? It's my job, and just my salary. I'm footing my bills, and you're talking of. So tell me, men parents, we feed, they feed. What is the thing? If you know you are not ready to have a woman in your life, leave them. Just like if I know that emotionally, spiritually, and otherwise, I'm not ready to have a partner, I will not accept even when you come close. So I also understand that men, go about wailing about the different celebrations about women, but it does not need to be so. Because in all honesty, most of the things that women experience, go and check it. The positions, the vulnerability of women. Who tells us to go into the other room? We are not fit to participate. We are good to mobilize for political participation, but we are not good for leadership. Who made that rule? Not be man.
Yeah.
Let's be real. It is men that still put us in this corner and box us as if no. For a woman to get to certain positions, you have to show and validate yourself over and over again. The beginning of the year, I attended an ECOWAS meeting, and it wasn't about Nigeria alone. We had different countries. When women share their experiences, you will cry for them. These are women who are at the top of their positions. Did it come easy? No. They shared it to also strengthen us as younger women who are in leadership positions to be able to fight for our rights. So men do not need to look at all of those things. If we even need to say it, women are the ones who are disenfranchised. Do you want to look at the monthly flow? Do you see the burden of carrying pregnancy? Some women acquire disability from childbirth. Do you know the problem of carrying pregnancy to term and now taking time to nurture that child? No, let's be real. The intersections cannot even be equal. So I don't expect him. But at the end, I like what he wrote. He's a typical Igbo man. And I give it to him because that is the typical Igbo mindset. It is not the 21st century because we need to be evolving with reality. We don't need to be
Absolutely.
thinking as my my grandfather was thinking. What is the reality now? Even then, my grandmother would go to the farm with my grandfather. She was not relaxing at home. So at every point, women have come in handy. They have been supportive of their partners from time immemorial. I beg, I can go on, and I'm a gender person, so I can go on and on and on. Let Mambuki wedge you.
Okay, so Susan mentioned that he is a typical Igbo man. He actually mentioned it in the
He
write
did.
up that he is an Igbo man, and so he believes that women and men experience things differently. And also, he mentioned that why do we probe unnecessarily into the lives of actors, that he doesn't pry into the affairs of his colleagues. He said, I don't need to, for me to now begin to probe or try to find out everything about your life. No, that's gossip. Men don't belong to gossip. They don't engage in gossip. And he said he's a traditional Igbo man, beg your pardon, and he doesn't gossip. Buki, over to you. What's your view on this? Why would he say, okay, he started with men don't experience
He
life the
was saying
same
it with regards
to
the
Mr.
Mr.
Igbo?
Ibu situation.
Yes, yes.
Yes, but even see, look, everybody gossips. I get all what's the English? Uh, all up in my arms. I mean, what's the English? If when they say oh gossip, because everybody involved gets in.
Everybody doesn't gossip. Oh, I don't gossip. I just like gist.
Yeah, but Bookie,
Gossip. What is gossip? What is gist? Well, there's a slight difference, actually. There's a slight difference, yeah. But everything joined together, no. But there's a slight difference, yeah. The intention is always different.
Yes.
Um, okay, two things that I will say. One perspective I would like to look at from is when he mentioned the issue of gender. And I like what Susan said. We all come from different perspectives. His own experience is what he's sharing. He feels that it is easier for women than men. It is his
Okay.
own experience. And possibly the things he has seen, he has been able to, probably out of 100 cases he has seen, family, friends, network, things he reads online, maybe 80% of them favor women.
Okay.
That is his perspective. We don't have data to support that. So I will not even go there.
Mhm.
My own perspective will be different because based on my own experiences and what I see around me. But generally speaking, I would not say it favors one gender or not. As
Okay.
a woman, I even feel we take in a whole lot than men. Are we talking about deadbeat fathers that will just leave and the mother will be the one to carry on? Do you know what the woman goes through? Or are we even talking about from pregnancy, the body change, the discomfort? You understand? I was watching one ridiculous, well, should I call it ridiculous? But hilarious. But it was showing men that they need to appreciate their pregnant wives. Right? I think it was done by, what is the name of this guy? I've forgotten the title. You know, the wife was pregnant And then, of course, she normally when you're pregnant, oh, my backache, oh, I was unable to do this, oh, I'm so sorry. And those
Mhm.
little things that we do. The wife was not lazy, but oh, but you should have cooked this. Oh no, I was a bit tired, so I cooked this. And then the man said, what do you mean? I can carry this pregnancy and I will still be a superhero. And I think, the universe had it. So they woke up in the middle of the night. The pregnancy has shifted to the man's tummy. The pregnancy has shifted to the man's tummy, So the man actually went through pregnancy and he was like, oh, please, I want to come back to myself. Please, I want to come back to myself. Because
Yeah.
he now realized, it was a Nigerian film. Oh, he now realized the trauma, the agony, the pain,
Yep.
so by the time the pregnancy shifted back to the wife, oh, he was very
He valued
appreciative.
her.
He valued her, that is this what you go through? So I only use that to say that it depends on your perspective. I feel women go through more. Is
Okay.
it even the emotional side that it's just now that women have started talking? A lot of women that are in the marriage are emotionally abused, but many of them do not even know. It is now that they are now beginning to know that, oh, this is emotional abuse, the silent treatment, all kinds of things. So for me, my own perspective, I think the women even are going through a whole lot more than men. You understand? But it depends on what you are looking at. What are the metrics that you are looking at? Is it looking at the fact that as a man, as an Igbo man, you have to fend for the family anyhow? You just have to fend. Either you do 10 jobs or whatever it is, you have to fend. You understand? Because I know from his culture, there are some things that as a man, I mean, for you to be called a man in your culture, there are some things you do. And he believes that the women are jelenke. It could be the women that he is attracted to. We're talking about subconscious and unconscious, what do you call it? Spec. It
Yeah.
could be the women that he has been attracted to. That, there are people that they like soft life, right? That's my own perception to this. And then for him saying, oh, he does not want to gossip, does not want to pry into um, the private life of fellow actors, and things like that. Well, the issue is, I think they I know they've come together at some point when a whole lot of them were having illness and all that, trying to raise things and all that. I know there was a time they had come together, to begin to do health insurance plans and things like that. To be honest, maybe now they are now well paid,
Mhm.
but to be honest, before, I mean, they were not really well paid, but the recognition. And
Mhm.
now that a whole lot of things is happening, you can be an ambassador here, you can be this, you can be do that. At least we heard about Chief Lagos Wahala Officer. Ikeke. I don't know how much they will pay her for that, but that's a whole lot of money. So
Yeah.
you understand? That's a whole lot of
Yeah.
money. So there are streams of income that are coming in for the new actors now. And,
Mhm.
and, and that is why you can find out that, yes, some of them, they live large. And then, of course,
Mhm.
this YouTube thing has started that they make a whole lot of money. That is why you find out that a whole lot of them are on YouTube. It is the same film, but it will have different titles. I don't know if
Mhm.
you've noticed it. Some will even have a
Yes.
wrong title just to
Yes.
attract you to watch it,
Yes.
and all that. However, I think they should watch out for one another. It's a
Mhm.
community. I
It's
think they
supposed
should
to
watch
be.
out. Yes, I think they should watch out for one another. Well, yes, Mr. April might have made his own mistakes or whatever it is. And he might not even, I mean, if he's alive now, he might say it was not a mistake. But I know that a whole lot of people that go into polygamy, and at the end of the day, when they're supposed to be enjoying, in their 60s, in their 70s, in their 80s, most of them they don't really enjoy, because the fraction that the seed that they planted, it is now grown. Everybody is saying it is the wife that you favor that should go and take care of you, except children that have mercy to say,
Mhm.
well, I think you are my father. I will still
Mhm.
take care of you. But I
Mhm.
think in all of this,
Mhm.
people should learn lessons. Why are we
Mhm.
discussing these things? We are not gossiping. We are not gisting. You understand? We are exposing things and we are making people to begin to think, to reflect that what decision will I take? I mean, that's why I always enjoy analyzing these things and we're discussing about these things. You understand? We will use somebody's life lesson, to discuss. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We have come to the end of her lens this morning, but thank you so much, ladies, for coming on. We were able to touch on two, well, very topics, but similar. Like you can find an underlying theme with them. Oh yeah, thank you. Nima, over to you.
Okay, thank you, ladies, for joining today. And thank you to our Lens family for staying with us and listening to us. You can catch us for another edition tomorrow by 9:05 a.m. Up next is Radio Doctor. Good morning.
Good morning.
Choose, little sister, because we're about to blast off.
What is it you're trying to say? It's time to buckle up.